Hello everyone. You probably know that a whole team of specialists are involved in creating the characters for the most famous films. Writers, costume designers, stylists, choreographers, and of course, makeup artists. But we're sure that many people don't even realize how complex and thorough their work is, and how long it takes to turn a person into a fantastic character. In today's video, we'll reveal these secrets and show you what's going on the other side of the camera, on the set and in the dressing room. Are you ready to dive into the world of cinema? Then let's get it on. Black Panther. Joel Harlow, the 2009 Star Trek Oscar winner, suffered a lot with the scars he had to cover Michael B. Jordan's body with. In the story, his character Eric Killmonger marks each murder, about 2,000 in number, with a scar. By the way, scarification is an ancient African tribal tradition that still exists. These scars are made with hooks or other sharp objects, but for Michael B. Jordan, of course, a less severe method was developed. Every day for several hours, about 90 tiny silicone mounds were attached to him, each designed by the makeup artist by hand. They were then painted so that each of them would match the natural color of Michael's skin. They were so firmly attached that after filming, the actor had to immerse himself in the sauna for a long time so that the makeup artist could remove them. Yeah, and the next day they had to do it all over again. Guardians of the Galaxy. Gamora, the beautiful heroine of the Guardians of the Galaxy and other Marvel films, according to the script, had to have green skin. And this is quite logical, because she comes from another planet. To put the green paint on her body, Zoe Saldana had to get up at 5 in the morning and spend 5 hours in the makeup artist's chair. The forehead, or rather the superciliary arches, and the shape of the cheeks were changed with the help of layers of special encapsulated silicone. The film's creators took a long time to choose the right skin tone. On the one hand, it had to be a bright, dynamic alien color, and on the other, it shouldn't scare away the viewers. As a result, different shades were applied onto the reflective base. In some places, a darker shade was applied, and in others, a lighter one to create a deep green and make the skin look more alive. Zoe admitted that because of this, she was so hot and the makeup was starting to melt, so the makeup artist had to deal with that too. But the result was worth it though, wasn't it? Another character in Guardians of the Galaxy is Blue, has a mohawk and knows a deadly whistle. Is played by the actor Michael Rooker. Try to recognize him when he's wearing makeup. According to Michael himself, the makeup application took 3 hours. 4 or 5 coats of paint were applied, not only blue but also gold and silver. In addition, another hour and a half was needed to eliminate all of this at the end of the day. Besides, it took about an hour and a half to dress and undress the actor. Of course, Michael didn't do it all himself. He was helped by a team of real professionals, armed with brushes, makeup, and a lot of patience. And their efforts weren't in vain. If you look at the actor without makeup, he seems like a completely different person. In the second part of the film, Yondu had his makeup changed and another mohawk installed, and the updated blue skin looked and felt like real. And of course, we must say a few words about Nebula. During the shooting of the first part of the film, the actress Karen Gillan had to shave her head completely. These were the terms of the contract she had signed, and the girl really took off her ginger hair, which surprised her fans. However, after accepting the role of Nebula for the second time, Karen asked the filmmakers to look into the possibility of avoiding this in some way. Thus, Nebula's makeup was made from elements for the face and head of solid silicone, leaving only a strip in the middle of the face and neck where there are no added details. The makeup artist had to adjust the color to make the heroine's skin look homogeneous, and this wasn't an easy task. However, the 22mm lenses that Karen wore every day remained unchanged, creating the terrible impression that Nebula has no pupils. Avengers: Age of Ultron. The makeup artist had to work hard to create the robot android Vision. Loved by many fans, this comic book character had to be close to the classics, but at the same time fit into the modern world. The makeup artist spent a lot of time trying to find the right skin tone, something between pink and red. Initially, the makeup experts tried to use pads on his face, but it turned out that this caused the delicate features of Paul Bettany to be lost, and therefore the pads were left only on the forehead, neck, and the back of the head. Look closely. Even on the screen you can see that Bettany's face is silicone-free. even though the filmmakers had to set up tracking points so that special effects artists could model his features. After all, Vision is the creation of a computer, which means that he must have something inhuman. But the lining on the neck and the back of the head caused Paul great discomfort, so that the actor wouldn't feel hermetically sealed in the rubber. The film's creator spent a lot of time searching for the perfect material. It was required to look good on the screen, and at the same time not feel like a hard shell. Otherwise, Vision would have to turn around with his whole body, like Batman in Schumacher's film. By the way, all the details of Vision's skin were painted from the inside, not from the outside, so that a slight transparency effect was obtained. Suicide Squad. It's hard to miss this film that received an Oscar for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. In the Suicide Squad, there really is something admirable, although for some actors the transformation was not easy. Akinnuye Agbaje, who played the role of Killer Croc, had to spend an incredible amount of time making grueling changes and adjustments. As a result, he spent 5 hours on his makeup, and then another 13 hours wearing a 2-inch thick layer of foam with facial prosthesis, cape and crocodile jacket. All this weighed approximately 18 kilograms, and 4.5 kilograms heavier in the rain. And yes, Croc's skin is makeup, not CGI. Jared Leto with his Joker character was luckier. He just had to take off his long braid, shave his beard and eyebrows, dye his hair green and learn to use lipstick. He, like Jay Hernandez, also had a large number of temporary tattoos placed all over his body, so that the characters would look like modern criminals. Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. To get a really creepy image for Captain Salazar, the makeup artist had to draw cracked earth on the faces of the actors. According to the plot of the film, the ship exploded after colliding with a rock. To apply makeup to each ghost sailor, including Javier Bardem, who played the role of Salazar, took about 3.5 hours, and another hour and a half to remove the makeup at the end of the shooting day. Yes, and don't forget the black teeth. To create this effect in the movie, a special paint was used, and to give the captain a touch of mystical horror, part of his head was covered with blue paint directly on his skin to then apply chroma key. Amazing results, isn't it? Well, it's up to you to decide. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. To create the image of Griphook, the goblin who worked at Gringotts, the makeup artist used the face used in the first film about the young wizard. You probably remember him and his scene at the bank. In the final parts, numerous face patches were used, including a large nose as well as large goblin ears. According to the creators, the most important thing was not to exaggerate, because makeup didn't have to interfere with Warwick Davis's performance, and they did it. Griphook on the screen has almost nothing done on the computer. Even the fake teeth and special contact lenses were used to complement the image. X-Men 2. When Jennifer Lawrence, the actress who plays the role of Mystique today, was only 13, the blue-skinned mutant was played by Rebecca Romijn. To put on her makeup, the actress had to spend 8 to 9 hours in the dressing room. Have you already compared it to the time required for the actors of other films on our list? Well, yes, in 2003, everything was much more complicated than today. The paint was applied directly on the skin, and although it was convenient for makeup artists, the actress was always cold because she was only wearing a few plastic pads. The paint was constantly retouched between shots because it was gradually blurred. Also, Mystique's body had to be decorated with dark flake patterns that must have looked natural. To get Rebecca to look at the viewers with her yellow eyes, they put in 2 pairs of contact lenses, and as a result the girl didn't see anything at all. However, this didn't stop her from creating a truly brilliant character, which many Marvel fans consider a classic. Pan's Labyrinth. Of course, when it comes to makeup, it's impossible to ignore a movie like this, and it's not even about the Oscar, it's just, well, have you seen this movie? By the way, the 2 greatest creatures in the labyrinth were played by the same actor, Doug Jones. To become the Faun, Jones had to sit for 5 hours in the makeup artist's chair and dress like a mythical creature all day long. He even had a special bike to move around the set. Jones was even eating in his costume, and it's hard for us to imagine how complicated that was for him. Despite his great height, the actor was forced to move with special stilts, and the Faun's facial expressions were created by an intelligent mask that read Jones's expressions. By the way, Jones's second role in the labyrinth was the Pale Man, a terrible creature with eyes in the palms of his hands. He needed 4 hours to transform, and since this character was blind and had no eyes on his face, Jones had to look through 2 nasal holes. Guys, it's time to recharge your brain. Visit the channel Brain Time. There you'll find a lot of interesting and useful facts, lots of positive energy, and tons of useful information. Subscribe right now. We promise it's going to be really exciting.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.